话题是想教大家一下在美国这边用的比较多的英语的一些俚语和成语。那我今天也是请来了我一个朋友，一个 guest speaker Julian 为我们大家做这样一个话题的讨论。Julian 是我的同事，在 Amazon 的同事，然后我们私下关系也比较好。那我现在让他给大家自我介绍一下，然后他听不懂中文，所以我说什么他你听。
一点点。
He knows a little bit English. All right. So Julian, do you want to do a quick introduction of yourself?
Yeah. So as Andre said, I'm a coworker at Amazon. We worked together for a little over a year.
Yep.
I was actually born in Hong Kong, but I only lived there for about 6 months. And then my parents moved to London, England, where I lived for 6 years. And then we moved to the United States, to the Los Angeles area in California, where I grew up and have been living for well over 20 years until I moved here to Seattle. So my parents actually are bilingual. They speak both Chinese and English. However, when I was growing up, they would always speak to me in Cantonese, and both me and I have a younger sister, both me and my sister would always reply back to them in English. So I think that's a big reason why our English is so good, but also why our Chinese is so poor, because we never really got to practice too often there.
Do you speak Cantonese?
少少啊，可以喺餐廳 place order.
Place order. That's English.
但係香港人會用英文。
Yep. I don't speak Cantonese. If you guys know any Cantonese, let me know if he is speaking correctly. All right. Without further ado, let's go to the topic.
Sure.
好，那我们今天第一个单词，第一个 slang 俚语是叫 woke, W-O-K-E, woke. Julian, do you want to help us understand what does a woke mean, how we use it?
Yeah. So woke would be to describe a person who is very aware culturally, politically, about what's going on in the world. So let's say here in America, if you know a lot about what Donald Trump is doing, if you know a lot about all the protests or all the elections that are occurring in our country, if you know about just different things that are happening all over this country, you can say that that person is very woke.
Got it. Do you have any sentence or example?
Yeah, like an example would be if I'm talking to a friend and I just say, "Oh, what's up? What did you do this weekend?" And my friend says to me, "Well, I spent a lot of time reading about the recent primary elections that occurred this past week."
Oh gosh.
And then he starts talking about that. I would
That's
say, "Wow,
a weird answer."
I would just say you're really woke.
So is that a good thing or a bad thing, or just generally no good or no bad?
I mean, that's the
But you're so woke, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing about slang.
Yeah.
Is that it can be both good and bad.
Got it.
So you can use it seriously, oh, it's good that you're very woke about all these issues in this country.
Yeah.
Or it can be used sarcastically, when someone just seems like they know so much and they're being very condescending, or they're know-it-all.
Yeah.
Then you can be sarcastic with them and say, "Oh, you're just so woke. You just know everything."
Yeah.
So it can be both.
Interesting. 我用中文跟大家解释一下，但 woke 的意思就是，如果你非常知道某一个领域或者是周围身边发生的事情、新鲜的事情的话，那别人形容你就可以用 woke 来形容，就很像你 be aware of everything, be aware of a lot of latest news. 别人就会这样来形容你。那它可以是褒义，也可以是贬义。就如果是贬义的话，我们常用的一个词就是你懂得太多了，就是你懂完了，就是这样一个道理。那也可以是褒义的。那这就是我们学的第一个单词。我们今天学的第二个 slang， 第二个俚语叫 thirsty。thirsty 就平时我们了解的 thirsty 是很口渴 ，you want some water， 对吧？但是今天我们的用法就有一些不同啊。我想 Julia 给我们介绍一下。
Sure. So for thirsty, it can mean a couple of things. So if you're at work and you see someone who is just, outwardly saying things and doing things to show their manager or other people that they're working really hard, or they're trying to say all these things in meetings so that people can pay attention to them, because you know that they want to get promoted, or you know that they want to get a raise.
Right.
You would say that that person is thirsty for a promotion. So that's one way of using thirsty. The other way is more about dating. So this would happen if, let's say, someone is single. Let's say a woman is single, and she really is thirsty for a boyfriend. So what she would do is when she goes out to bars, to clubs, she's like wearing really tight, revealing clothing. She's very flirty with all the guys. She talks to so many people. So people would say that, well, that woman is very thirsty.
Interesting. That's a really good slang because we have that in Chinese. 我相信大家听到这儿估计也比较熟悉了，就是非常饥渴，讲这个人非常饥渴。那我们平时讲饥渴就是想喝水，但是就是现在的生活中，我们也用饥渴形容一个人，比如说很想找女朋友，很想找男朋友。那这个词在英语里边其实是一样的，那完全可以直接把它翻过来用 thirsty 来表示。那下一个呢叫 extra，extra extra 平时我们说的意思就是可能再多一点，再加一点 ，such as go an extra mile, something like that。那我们今天说的词呢，可能会稍微有一点不一样的意思。那我们也请 Julia 给我们解释一下。
Sure. So extra is again a very new slang in America, and it means to just really be over the top. So an example would be if you say for your birthday celebration, let's say I ask my friend to say, can you make a reservation for me at a restaurant to celebrate my birthday?
Yeah.
And they would do that. But then what happens is on my birthday, all of a sudden outside my house, there's a limo, a stretched limo that shows up. And then all my friends are inside already. So we get into the limo, then we go to a restaurant. The restaurant is actually like a rooftop restaurant, like on a 50th floor of a skyscraper that's overlooking the city. And
Michelin star,
and all of a sudden my favorite chef is there.
Oh gosh.
And then he or she, they're cooking me a meal. And then at the end of the night, from this restaurant, then all of a sudden there's fireworks that go off.
Yeah.
That would be very extra.
Very extra.
So that's an extreme example. I don't have a friend like that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it would just be too...
Well, it'd be good to have friends like that.
Yeah.
I would like that.
Who wouldn't? Right? But that's just someone who goes over the top, takes it to the next level.
Oh, that's a good one. 那 extra 翻译成中文，我们经常用到的词语可能就是阵仗很大，就是有点过了。所以我们这个词可以用在生活当中，并且也可以用在 business environment， 用在正式的场合里边。All right, cool. Let's go to the next one. Lit. This is new to me. That before this, I didn't know what it means. L-I-T, lit.
Yeah, so this is, it's really common with young people, millennials overall. So it really means really means something's very good, something's great. So the origin of this is emojis. So there's the little fire emoji, and people would use that because you're saying, oh, this is fire, this is so good, like this song is fire. And then how do you start a fire? You have to light a fire. So people would then start saying lit. So a good example of that would be if you're at a party, one of your friends is showing up later. Okay, so I'd say I'm at this party and I'm having a great time. Like there's really good music, there's good food, there's dancing, there's drinks, there's everything. It's just so fun. I would say it's lit. So like my friend, let's say they text me, they ask me, I'm about to head over, how is the party? I would reply to them in text message, it's lit. And they would understand that it's a really fun party.
Got it. So it's really really good.
Yes,
really
really
good, super good. It's hard to think about a Chinese word for that. 大概意思就是非常好。
Yeah.
就比如说。刚刚 Julian 举的例子是我们去一个 party， 大家就是有一个朋友问你这个 party 怎么样，你就说太好了。那我们进入下一个单词 ，the next one is gonna be goat, G-O-A-T, goat， 山羊那个单词。那我们听一下美国人一般用山羊会怎么去用呢 ？Goat.
Yeah, so GOAT is it's an acronym, so it stands for Greatest of All Time, and this originated with really to describe professional athletes who are really good at sports. So like in basketball, there's Michael Jordan, there's Kobe Bryant, there's LeBron James. People commonly say they're the greatest of all time, so they're the GOAT. But this has started to be expanded outside of sports. So it can be for musicians, so like Beyonce right now. It can even be used for business. Like for a CEO, who's a GOAT CEO? Well, Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Bezos.
So it really just means this person's the best.
Does that also mean that that person is the leading of this industry?
Yeah, I would definitely say so.
You would say that. So what's the difference between GOAT and you say someone is alpha?
Alpha is more of a term to say that, so it's referring to alpha and beta,
yeah.
So A and B.
Right.
Alpha just means very like outspoken, very aggressive, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they are good.
Oh, interesting.
You can be alpha, it's like your personality type.
Got it.
You can be like that, but not necessarily be good at your job, but you can just be like, at work, like at meetings, you're always like talking, you're always being very loud, you're always trying to assert your dominance.
Right.
But you may not actually be right.
Got it.
Good.
OK， 那这个很有意思啊，就是 goat 相当于中国的词，中文有一个叫领头羊的意思 ，It's like the leading goat. We say that in Chinese to the leading one in a group of goats. 有领头羊的意思。那么大概意思就是形容这一个人是这一个行业的尖端人物。那我刚刚问了 Julian 一个问题，说 goat 和 alpha 有什么区别？因为我们经常说 alpha is for wolf，right？Yeah. 头狼里边说头狼叫 alpha。那 Julian 跟我的解释就是 alpha 更多的是在一个人的表达上，他的情感和他的态度上，那不一定是说明这个人的专业或者领域就多么的突出但是 goat 就是一定是说这个人的 expertise， 就是说他的背景，他的 professional 是最突出的。好下一个最后一个 slang 就叫 salty S-A-L-T-Y salty 盐很咸的这个 salty。那我们听一下 Julian 给我们介绍一下这个 salty 会怎么使用。
Yeah, so salty is used when you're very annoyed about something or someone. I think the reason why this came about is because if, let's say, you were to just put a spoon and have salt in it, just eat the salt, your expression would be like, oh my gosh, that's so salty.
So salty.
So that's like your reaction to something. So let's say in professionally, so at work, let's say I worked really hard on this project. I spent a lot of time, many late nights at work. I worked at home, I worked on weekends. And then when I present this project to my manager or to whoever requested this project, and they say, okay, that was good job. And then nothing else. They don't acknowledge like all the work I put in. I would feel salty about that because I worked so hard on it.
Got it. 那 salty 大概的意思就是，如果别人跟你说，就比如说你工作很努力，但是你的 manager 看到你就觉得就这样，没有什么特别大的动静或者怎么样的，你就会觉得很生气，非常的 annoy， 然后觉得我工作这么努力，为什么你还没有一点点反应，没有 recognize 我的表现？那你就会觉得非常的 salty。And then the last one is snowflakes， 雪花 snowflakes。雪花我所理解的就是在我知道这个真正的美国用法之前，我就觉得好像很容易化掉的，非常fragile 的。那我们听 Julian 给我们解释一下美国人会怎么用。
Yeah, so this term snowflakes has only been used recently, and it's usually used in a derogatory or negative fashion, and it's about someone who's very sensitive to anything that they hear. So I think an example would be me and my friends. We're playing catch. We're throwing a baseball around.
Kevin,
yeah, my friend Kevin. So
our friend Kevin.
Our friend Kevin, Yanfei, Kevin, and I. We're just throwing a baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And then I say that Kevin throws. He's very weak. He throws very weak. Okay, and then I make a comment to him and I say, Kevin, you throw like a girl. Now, let's just say that you should never say that. Girls are definitely just as strong as men, but it's a very common saying in America that people use that to say that someone's weak. And the thing is, though, sometimes people would be a snowflake about it.
Yeah.
And if Yanfei was a snowflake, she would say, Julian, you cannot say things like that.
No,
that's wrong.
Yeah.
That's wrong. Which it is wrong, but it's like the reaction does, like Yanfei could easily say, "Oh, you shouldn't say that."
Yeah.
Right? But she's just so mad, so offended, and she's a snowflake. That's something that would occur in that casual situation, or it's also used in like for news or politics. Like anytime there's like some news about something happening that Donald Trump does, people get angry and then protest. Like people who take things too far and get too hurt would be considered to be a snowflake. And then what happens is that people who disagree with them would use that as a negative phrase. So they'd say, "Oh, you're just being a snowflake," to try to say that you're not, to dismiss their opinion. So that's a very common slang nowadays, really.
Cool. Snowflake 其实有一个非常贴近的中文意思，叫玻璃心，就说这个人的心是玻璃做的。就像刚才 Julian 给的例子，就是如果他就随口说了一句 Kevin 说你扔球很轻，像女孩一样，我就会非常的 offended， 就是我会站在 Kevin 那一边说，Julian 你怎么能这么说 Kevin 呢？不能这么说 Kevin 呀。那这个就说明我非常容易的就激动了，非常容易的就感觉受伤了，不能这么去说Kevin，就是玻璃心。还有一个就是在政治方面，比如说某一个领导人，比如说 Donald Trump 做了一系列的行动，那其实这个行动可能真的并没有什么大碍，但有的人就会做了这样的事情 ，It's a bullshit, he cannot do it that way。那这样的人他可能就有点 take it too far, take it too serious， 有点过于激动了。那也可以叫玻璃心，就是形容这个人比较脆弱或者过于激动、反应过大这样一个状态。那刚才跟大家介绍了几个美国常用的俚语。那俚语呢，很多情况下是在比较 casual 的 environment 用，偶尔会在 business 正式的场合用。那我接下来介绍几个叫成语，就叫 idiom 就是在正式的场合或者 casual 都可以用到。那我们接下来说第一个 idiom 叫 in the same boat， 在同一条船上 in the same boat。那 Julian 给我们解释一下 in the same boat 的意思和怎么用它。
Yeah, so in the same boat, you usually say this to someone else who is also going through something that's very difficult with you. So you understand how this person feels. So let's say Yanfei and I at work, we both have a very similar issue. Let's say our manager just is making things difficult, or we're having difficulty getting something approved by somebody.
Right.
I would say to her, if she tells me that she's having all this difficulty getting her project approved, and I am also having difficulty getting a project approved, if she's telling me that, I would respond to her and say, I'm in the same boat.
Yeah， 这个可能大家通过字面上的意思就可能了解，就在同一条船上。那我们中国人也会说，我和你在同一条船上，我们同舟并济这样一个成语。那需要强调的是，这个词更多的是用在一个 challenge 的 situation，而不是在比如说我们俩都过得很好，我们同舟共济，或者我们在同一条船上。那这一点是大家需要注意的。The second one is gonna be low hanging fruit。很低的果子 low hanging fruit.
Yeah, so low hanging fruit is to describe, let's say you're working on a project. There's many different aspects to this project. There's so many different things that you could do first. Usually what happens is people say, let's start with the low-hanging fruit, because what that means is that the fruit is very literal. It means if you were looking at a tree, you would pick the fruit that is closest to you because it's easier. And that's how it's used in business. It's to say, let's start with what's easiest and most achievable first, and then start working on more difficult parts, more difficult aspects.
对，那这个就是跟字面解释也非常相似了，就是你比如说要摘一个树上的果子，你肯定从最低的果子开始摘起，对吧？就叫 low hanging fruit， 你会把这个最低的果子先摘下来，然后再去看长得更高的果子。Okay, the third one, no brainer 就是大脑 no brainer。来，我们听一下 no brainer 会怎么去用。
Yeah, so no-brainer, I think is also kind of literal. It really means, because, we're humans, we need our brain to think and do things. If something is so easy, something is so simple, you don't need to use your brain. Like, you don't even need to think about it. It just comes naturally. You would say this is a no-brainer. I think that's the most straightforward way of putting it.
Got it. So when you say that to someone, so let's say if there is you're saying something, and then I keep asking a lot of questions, even though it's a no-brainer, and then the third people coming would say, well, that's a no-brainer. Would that mean that people think I'm like not smart enough?
In that specific situation, maybe they would just say that you might be overthinking it, like you're using too much of your brain, right? But usually it's just if you're presented with an option, it's like, let's say I am interviewing for 2 jobs. I want to work for both companies. And I think they're about the same. They're both in the same city. They both are at the same level, same seniority. But one pays way more money. Then you would say, oh, it's a no-brainer. I'm going to take the job that pays more money. It's a very simple decision where you just don't need to think about it.
Got it. So this is really interesting because the literal translation in Chinese is more of a derogatory.
It's like this person has no brain.
Yeah, like stupid. No brain, stupid, like something like that. But in English, it's not like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, interesting. 那我们刚刚聊的就是美国人用 no brainer， 其实就是说这个东西都不用经过大脑就可以思考，就是不经大脑就可以做出的决定非常简单、非常 easy 的一个决定。那我们中国人其实也有这个，就是什么不经大脑、没脑子，但是我们中国人用的是一个比较贬义的用法，但是美国人他们不会这样去用，他就会用这个词的解释为这个东西不需要经过深思熟虑，就直接就可以不用想的就可以做出决定，所以这是大家需要注意的。好，我们进入下一个 shot himself in the foot， 就 shot himself or herself or myself in the foot， 打了一下我的脚，那这个会怎么去用呢？
Yeah, so to shoot yourself in the foot is to not be able to do something or achieve something because it's your fault, and the only person to blame is yourself. So let's say if I am going to take a trip, I'm going to go visit a new part of the city that I've never been to, and I want to drive there. What I would do is, for me, I would need to do many things. I would need to make sure that I know how to get there, so I'd use my phone to navigate as my GPS. I would need to prepare. So let's say the day after I plan this trip, I get in my car and I'm ready to drive. I've never been to this place, so I have no idea how to get there. And I turn my phone on, and my phone only has 10% battery. It's very low on battery, and this means that I probably won't be able to get to this place. I don't have a charger in my car. And the thing is, in this case, I would say, oh, I shot myself in the foot. I forgot to charge my phone last night. And this would mean it's not because someone else didn't charge my phone. It's because I didn't charge my phone. So I made a mistake that didn't allow me to do something I wanted to do.
So it's more of like self-blaming?
Yeah, it's exactly, because like if you literally shot yourself in the foot, it was you who shot yourself, not someone else.
Got it. 那这个词的意思就是，自己做的事情 需要自己去承担这个结果，就是我之前做了一个什么样的决定，但是因为我这个决定导致一系列的问题出现了，那我们就可以说 I shot myself in the foot， 就是我自己给自己脚打了一枪这样子。好，最后一个 the last one is gonna be let the cat out of the bag. And so let's just ask Julian, what does it mean?
So this is a very common and well-used phrase in American English. And to let the cat out of the bag means to reveal a secret. So a way this could be used is if, let's say, there's a
second headquarters.
yeah, we want to talk about that. Sure. Yeah, let's say there's a second headquarters that a company is looking for, and everyone wants to know, but the company they haven't told anybody yet. But there are a few people in the company who do know.
Right.
So let's say a person at this company, and they tell somebody who's not supposed to know, and then that person then tells someone who works at a newspaper.
Right.
So then that person let the cat out of the bag. They revealed the secret.
Right.
It's when you reveal a secret when you weren't supposed to either. Or it could also be something that was a secret that has now become known to everybody. So the cat is out of the bag.
Right.
Now that we know the cat is out of the bag.
So it had to be a secret.
It was once a secret.
Review.
Only one person knew, or a few people knew, and now, if everyone knows now, the cat is out of the bag.
OK， 那这个的意思就是释放一个大新闻这样子就说某一个消息，一个秘密的消息，只有一个小的 circle， 一小群人，几个人知道，在一个集团里边。就我们刚刚在讨论亚马逊的第二个总部在哪里，就是如果有人从那个圈子里的人知道的，比如说做 CMO、CEO 他们知道的，把消息泄露出来了，那这个就叫 let the cat out of the bag， 就是把这个消息一下子泄露出来了，这样一个意思。Cool. I think we have finished all the slangs and idioms. And I guess a lot of people may ask more questions around for Chinese students or people have an international background whose English is not their native language, how to improve their English, and as American, what is the particular area that you notice people they're not using it in an authentic way?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I notice is singular versus plural. The other one I would say is past tense versus current tense.
How do you think we can improve that? Because from my experience, I'm not a native speaker, and in Chinese, in Mandarin, there is no single versus plural. And if we want to use past tense, we have a particular word to use. But for English, it's different, right? When you grew up, it's more like instinct. You just pick it up a bit somewhere. But then, as non-native speaker, how do we improve that?
Yeah, so I mean, it is very difficult. Like your knowledge of the words is actually very strong, but the difficulty is when you speak or even when you write to be able to use the right words. So it is very difficult. So I think the two best ways, one is to have many conversations in English with non-native speakers, because I know it's very difficult, right? If you're new to a country, you're not comfortable with English.
Right.
It is very difficult to find someone who will talk to you. But people like that exist. I think Yanfei has someone she can talk to in English.
Yeah, I can talk.
And also be able to not be judgmental and to also help. So if you can have these conversations in English and then have the native speaker maybe make notes or write down phrases or words that the non-native speaker used incorrectly and then discuss it afterwards.
Right.
I think that'd be very helpful, because then the next time they talk, you can correct that. So that's one way. Another way would be, I would say, reading like newspaper articles or books is very helpful, because then you can see how a sentence is written out and how words look, and reading it out loud. Because when you read something, you'll read it and then you'll understand it, but it's not the same as if you were to say that sentence.
Right.
So if there's something that, like maybe some words or just something that you don't fully understand, or maybe just a short article that you can start reading out loud and hear how it sounds to use the correct tense, to use the correct singular versus plural, to use the correct grammar.
Right.
I think will help immensely.
Got it. 那 Julian 的2点建议呢，就是第一个就是多说了，那我们这个也是老生常谈了，英语要多说多交，native speaker 说英语为母语的这样一些朋友，然后请他们能不能帮助好朋友能不能帮助一下，就是你在和他交流的过程中，他能记录下一些你说到的没有那么 authentic 或者有一点grammar issue 的。这样一些词，这样一些地方呢，给你反馈一下，那你可以不断的提高。那第2点呢，就是去读很多的文章和报纸。那这个读呢，跟我们平时所说的做阅读练阅读不一样。It's a lot for the second suggestion. It's a little bit different from when we want to learn reading, right? Because when I study GMAT, when I practice my reading, it's more of like I get the general meaning instead of going to very deep to understand the grammar. But if you read to practice your English, your speaking, you're actually gonna pay attention to every single word and speak out loud. 对，所以这跟我们平时练阅读是不太一样的。就比如说我之前考GMAT的时候，那我的阅读提高水平的方式就是我会去了解整个文章的大概的意思，它的段落的意思，它的承上转下的转折和逻辑性。那我不会去强调某一个单词用的过去时态还是现在时态。那我们现在所说的就是读出来的这样一种方式，是以提高speaking 为目的的这样一种读书。那大家也会需要注意一下这2个之间小小的一个差别。那我们今天的就讲完。I think we are good today.Thank you so much for joining me and be a guest speaker. 那如果大家看得开心的话呢，也不要忘了在下面给我点赞。如果有 particular question 有一些问题的话，你可以给我留言。那我接下来还会做更多的视频给大家看。那就这样啦，拜拜。